What's going on YouTube? This is your man Jason with the Power Up Review. Going to bring you a little walkthrough of the Warrior Dash. Is it worth the money? Now before we get started, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of my run. Just giving you an idea of the kind of obstacles and things that you might see if you plan on doing it in the future. But $75 to register, it was 20 bucks to park. And then you have to get tickets if you want to get water, Gatorade, food, stuff like that. Now you do get a free beer with registration. You do get a Warrior Dash t-shirt, a medal when you complete it, and a fuzzy Warrior Dash horn helmet, which is pretty cool. But if you're going there and you plan on doing it, think about dropping probably about $120 just for food, registration, and parking. Now the race has already started. We're just kind of being cattled in to actually start running, and I'm not sure if the time's actually already going since the race started at 6 o'clock, and I don't know if this is going to count like against your time total, but I filmed using a Contour HD on a helmet camera, and my total video was 47 minutes, and I did turn it on earlier, so I'm thinking my run probably had to be maybe 40 minutes or something like that. But here we are, we're skipping, we're running. Like I said, the first half is about a mile, so you're just running. I try to keep up with my brother, but he's in better shape than I am, so he kind of leaves me eventually later in the video. But we're wearing BDU pants, Army issued BDU pants, and combat boots, just for the fact that there is a lot of rough terrain and we didn't want to break an ankle. This was our first time doing it, so we wanted to keep it real and do it in boots. Next year, will I do it in boots? I'm not too sure. It was super hot outside too. It was like 90 degrees, which was ridiculous. So here's the first obstacle. It's just pretty much a rope bridge, and as you can see, no matter how fast you kind of get to the obstacles, you always get jammed up, and so it kind of kills your stride. But if you're looking for a good time, so it's kind of like if you start earlier and you kind of keep your time, you're probably going to get the best time if you get there early and start at the beginning of the line. So this is just the first obstacle. This is a rope bridge. I mean, it was pretty easy. All in all, the obstacles weren't too bad. I mean, personally for me, none of them were really hard. The hardest part for me was running. So you want to build up your cardio, because we were running probably about 3.5 to 4 miles every day for a couple weeks, and on and off. You know, we do like maybe 2 weeks on and take a week off, and maybe 3 weeks on and take a week off, you know, to get myself ready for the Warrior Dash. I started at 215. I currently weigh 195 now. So I did drop 20 pounds, and it did help. Now this second obstacle was just kind of like 2 things of barbed wire and then walking across some plank things or something, and I thought it was kind of lame. Maybe it wasn't finished, I don't know, but I don't know what that was. It was kind of like, okay, here's just something to kind of keep you busy. Maybe something cooler was supposed to be there. I think maybe if they did have maybe 2 or 3 more obstacles throughout the course of the dash, I think it would have made it more fun. Because at certain points you're just running, and it is kind of like, you know, kind of boring, because I went to climb obstacles and climb stuff and crawl under stuff and get muddy. So all in all, I did have a good time though. So this third obstacle is just, like you can see, you climb up the rock wall, slide down the pole, and then you know, keep running. Some people were actually scared to slide down the pole. It was actually kind of funny, because it really wasn't that high at all. Like, you probably could just jump down if you really wanted to. This obstacle is just more barbed wire. This one's more longer, and you're kind of crawling under. I'm showing a little bit right now, but in the middle I'm probably going to fast forward it, because we did have to wait because people were getting tied up. And it's real barbed wire. I mean, none of it cut me fortunately, but it's real barbed wire. Nothing really that I haven't seen before, so but it's just pretty much your average kind of low crawl, and I'm kind of a small guy, and the area that I was crawling in was higher, so I didn't have to necessarily get down and like crawl on my belly. It was more walking on all fours. Like, this chick just zoomed by us, you know, she just was taking off. So here I'm going to speed it up, because it's pretty much the same thing. It was pretty long, but like I said, you're kind of waiting on other people, and that's kind of the bad thing about the Warrior Dash, is that you do get backed up at the obstacles waiting for people. So like I said, if you're trying to get an awesome, super awesome time, you know, it'd be different than if you just ran it yourself. You'd probably get a way better time because you're not waiting on people. This is like some kind of V walking thing. You know, it wasn't very difficult. Maybe you're supposed to like walk with both feet, you know, on opposite ends, but I just kind of went to one side and said screw it. I mean, it was pretty easy. You know, kind of reminded me of that double wall, easier version of that wall, that double wall in like Ninja Warrior. You know, this one was probably one of my favorites because it just was fun. You just slide down, you know, slide down the hill, you know, like a big slip and slide, and then into just a muddy muck water pond. So that was really fun. And then here it's like, well, I'm gonna keep sliding, and I almost took this chick out because they decided to stop for some reason. And this thing was downhill the whole time. So here I'm just hauling. I'm hauling ass, trying not to land on my face because the momentum it's just downhill, and you're just going. You're just going. Excuse me. So here's more running. And it's not that running's a bad thing or anything like that, but I felt like they could have maybe, like I said, if they put 2 or 3 more obstacles, you know, I think it would have been pretty rad. You know, some points you were just running, and it was kind of like, well, I'm kind of bored, kind of sick of running, you know, let's do something else. So here we're going, and this is an obstacle where you climb over some cars, and then you walk on some tires, or you know, put your feet in some tires, like those old school like football drills with the tires and stuff. So, but like I said, the thing is you're kind of stuck on the person in front of you, so you can't just like kind of blast through and do your thing. All in all, the people there were pretty nice. I mean, everybody else running the race was, you know, nobody was really jerkish. Some guys were kind of commenting at that me and my brother kind of ran ahead of them because we just when we started, we ran. We wanted to take off and get a decent time and just do our best, you know. And you can't hold somebody, you know, you can't try and hold somebody back. Hey, why are you running so fast? Because it's their race. You know, you're gonna do what you want to do. You pay the money, so we wanted to try our best, try our hardest, and just kind of kill it. This is probably my favorite obstacle. Like I said, I like the ones with the mud. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know, because I'd like to get muddy. That's kind of why I went, you know. And then by this time, it was so hot out, and we were just so hot from running, or I was so hot from running, that when this muddy water was pouring out of my head, I was like, thank God, because man, I was just so damn hot. And the way it kind of worked for me was that the obstacles were kind of a break. The running is what wore me out. So if you build your cardio and you have no problem with the running part, then you'll be fine. Because that was the worst part for me, was the running. You know, even like I said, we were running, but then, you know, water got in my boots and they were muddy and stuff like that. So the worst part for me was running. When you hit the obstacle, you're kind of like, okay, I can take a break, and you just kind of do the obstacle, kind of get your wind back for the next area of running. So I didn't think there'd be this much running involved. I thought there'd be more obstacles. So get prepared to run, because you're pretty much running a race with obstacles here and there instead of like a 5K obstacle course. And this is the first kind of thing that I've done like this before. You know, I hear Tough Mudder is pretty cool, and then like the Spartan race is like insane. You know, I don't know if they got more stuff in between it that you're constantly doing stuff. If so, I mean, that'd be pretty awesome. But all in all, I did have a good time. This is this wall climb with a rope, and when I first approached it, you see these kind of lips that you put your feet on, and you're thinking that you're gonna put your feet on and kind of walk up the wall using these footholds, and then just kind of pull yourself up with the rope. This was all upper body. It was all pulling yourself up with the rope, and then your feet are just kind of there, so you're not smashing into the wall. And once you kind of figured that out, it went by pretty quick. At the end of this, at the end of the Warrior Dash, I realized that I hate cargo nets. I hate these things, just for the fact that they're such a pain in the ass to navigate. At this point, I was tired, just kind of winded, and I had to keep looking down and watching where I put my feet. I was thinking about like crawling across, but my knees kept going in the holes, and so it was kind of tough to kind of balance it a little bit. So if I kind of walked on my hands and my feet on all fours, you know, with my ass in the air, it just kind of made it easier. But you kind of have to take your time and watch where you put your hand, where you put your feet, where you put your hand, where you put your feet. And like I said, by this time I was tired, so it's kind of tough that you're kind of focusing. You're trying to catch your breath, and you're just making sure your leg doesn't go through one of these holes in the rope. You get a rope up the crotch, because that'd really suck. And it's just a simple walk down from there. And then we have more running. This is probably, I don't know if this is as long as the beginning, this run that I'm going to show you here, but it was cool because you were in the woods and in the shade, so that was kind of fun. It was downhill, so you're kind of hauling ass, which is another cool thing. But at the same time, I'm gonna slow it down when we get to an area where there's like a stream, and there's like these huge honking rocks and just freaking puddles of mud, and you can't see how deep it is. So like I'm trying to run and trying to keep my pace, but at the same time the rocks are slippery and they're moving under my feet. And then when I walk into the water, it's kind of hard to gauge how deep it is and how, you know. So it's like right now it's like it's like above my ankles, deep. And so I'm trying to keep my pace, but at the same time, not trying to fall on my face. So eventually I just say, screw it. And I just start walking because, number one, I was tired. Number two, it's slippery. Number three, I had water in my boots. So it's kind of tough for me to kind of pick my feet up. So here I just like, you know what, let me walk because I don't want to fall on my face, especially with all the rocks. I mean, it'd be very easy to mess up your ankle there. So I just kind of took my time, and that's what it's about. Kind of, you know, as long as you finish the Warrior Dash, it's cool. Do your own pace. Do what you want to do, man. Don't have other people tell you how you want to run it. It's your run. Do, like I said, do what you want to do. You'll enjoy it the most. Now here's a hill, and with the rope, and had a rope at the bottom. And I saw some people like trying to go up it without seeing the rope. And I don't know if they didn't see the rope or if they thought the obstacle was at the very top, which is these wooden planks here. But I grabbed the rope and I just said, screw it, man. And I walked up the hill, pulling myself up with the rope because it was muddy and footing was a pain in the butt. So I just said, screw it, man. I'm using the rope. That's what it's there for. Then I get to the second cargo net. This is the second cargo net of the obstacle course. And like I said, by this point it was official that I hated them because I felt like when you grab the cargo net, you feel like you're gonna go higher, but when you grab it and pull the slack on it, then you realize that you're really not going anywhere. So you're kind of like pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. It's kind of like walking up an escalator that's going the wrong way. You know what I mean? You're going against it, just trying to get up there. And so I had a little bit of a problem at the top, getting over a little bit because I started kind of slipping. But then I was like, all right, man, stop dicking around. Let's do it, you know. And we're nearing the end of the race here too. So I was like, all right, well, I can't be lazy. Here's the fire jump, which was pretty cool. I ran and got a running start because I was tired. I said this would be the totally wrong way, the wrong time to gas out and fall because that would suck. You just fall face first in fire. Oh man, that'd be horrible. And this is the last obstacle here. This was probably about 3 feet deep. And you gotta kind of crawl, but you're not crawling. Like what I did is kind of dog paddle, just kind of go like this, and then I just was going, and I just was hauling ass. So I said, okay, cool, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, you can't, you try to swim, and it wasn't deep enough to swim. You know, so it's kind of weird. But all in all, it was pretty easy. And it was nice because again, I was hot again. So once you get in this black water, you don't care that it's black. You don't care what's in it. You're just happy that it's water and it's keeping you cool. I had a little bit of trouble kind of getting out there. I had to dig my hands into the mud. And then here I'm trying to not fall on my face and cross the finish line. And just so I could be like, all right, boom, I did it. Good stuff. You know, and I was like, oh, awesome. I crossed the finish line. Still not trying to fall on my face because it's so damn muddy, you know. And then you get a medal, which is cool. So that's the Warrior Dash. Like I said, was it worth it? Yes, I think it was. You know, it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Will I do it next year? Yes. I'd like to do Warrior Dash, maybe Tough Mudder, maybe a Spartan race eventually in the future. But it's something that I got to work towards. This is Jason, Power Up Review. This was Warrior Dash, Channahon, Illinois, 2012. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment if you did some Warrior Dash stuff too. You know, make a video response and I'll be sure to approve it and all that stuff. And hey, thanks for watching, guys.